So I wanted to talk a little bit in this segment about implications for education, working with children. So anger is connected and has those two companions of sadness and fear. The importance then of what I spoke of with emotional literacy, competence, and intelligence really becomes clear. And that children have a vocabulary, they understand what these words are, and they are also competent with that vocabulary and registering how it actually feels. These words can help them understand the feelings that are going on. And I think I spoke earlier that that's one of the differences. When I work with young people, I tell them the difference between you and a baby is a baby doesn't have language. And because they don't have language, many times we have to guess what's going on. All we know is that they're crying. Some of you parents out there probably have the same experience as I did with my kids. You know, kids start crying, little babies. You don't know what's wrong, all right, give them some food. No, that doesn't work. They don't want that. Well, we'll wrap them up. We'll put them real tight like grandma used to do. Put the blanket real tight. They're still crying. Okay, probably need to walk, give them a walk. They're still crying. And you trying all these different things. You try to hold them. And finally somebody says something like, did you check their diaper? Like, oh gosh, they're wet, But because the baby doesn't have language, it doesn't have the ability to tell us what's wrong, we're constantly having to guess and trying to figure out. So that's one of the first keys in the importance of being able to do that. The other part of it is the emotional safety. And I do believe that originally our cultures, before they were broken apart and before the advent of boarding schools, and pretty cruel ways of raising children and intimidating children, bossing children around, forcing us away from our languages and our culture, these brutal ways of being treated, that we were very emotional people, and it was emotionally safe for us to share and to reach out to others for comfort and safety. And we had mechanisms within our culture to deal with these kind of things, these emotions and things that are challenges in our life. So getting back on that path is really, really important. And if you are a tribe that has traditional language, immersion schools and things like that, then maybe you can actually repair the emotional pathway in the original language for children. Like I said earlier in the introductory video I did, I'm 60 years old and I'm still not fluent in my language. And I don't know if I'll ever have the emotional clarity, emotional competence that I have in English that I do in my original people's language. So, but I found that it's very crucial, and it's a very important part to my own health and well-being, and I pass that on to my children. So, and for educators then, and for children, it's very vital for them to begin to develop and to have that vocabulary and to begin to, if you look at the packet of exercises that are in the packet that look at emotional literacy and competence, you'll see part of it is just the words and definitions. What do these words mean for emotions? Then there are little exercises beginning to look at, in this situation, when these things happen, what feelings arise? What feelings arise during those times? And so beginning to get a sense, again, at first intellectually for children, if these types of things occur to you, then these are likely the emotions that will appear at that time. For a lot of people that I've worked with, even into adulthood, and many times in youth, I have to do a third person kind of walkthrough with them. And I would say, they describe a situation where they're angry about something that occurs. So I ask them what happened, and they'll retell the story. And I will say for them, as a third person in this situation, to say, if that happened to me, I might feel heartbroken, I might feel confused, I might feel worried, suspicious, I might feel a sense of despair, I might feel apathetic, so to me, that's a vital exercise with children for them to begin to attach then, oh, these things I'm going through. Now, underneath all of this, to me, I was introduced to the idea by a therapist who was sharing about adult children of alcoholics back in the 90s. And she talked about how, as human beings, when we look to take care of our emotions and what they are telling us, that's one of the first problem-solving experiences that we have. She gave the example, if children are in a home and dad comes home drunk again, everybody knows what to do. The oldest child takes the younger ones, they all run upstairs, they hide in their room, hide in the closet, because, here he comes, and he tends to get violent when he's like that. So sure enough, they hear arguing downstairs, dad or mom are arguing and yelling. Pretty soon things are thrown around and everybody's scared in there. The oldest is trying to calm them, just be quiet. Pretty soon they hear mom yelling, she's crying, they want to go out there. The oldest say, no, we can't go out there. Mom wants us in here. And so, as many of the stories are, they fall asleep in the closet and that wondering what's happened. The house gets quiet. Morning comes, they go downstairs and they see their mom with a big old black eye. And they say, Mom, what happened? Dad did that to you, didn't he? He hit you. No, that's not what happened. I slipped on the floor and I fell and I hit the doorknob, so it gave me that bruise. So this person was sharing and she said, so what do you think is going on with the child? Here they have these intuitions and they're connected to the emotions and what they experience, and here's an adult that they should trust who's lying to them. And what they perceive as reality, this adult is telling them, no, that's not really reality. This is reality. So she said she truly believed that impairs that child's sense of, can I trust my ability to reason, to rationalize, to work through situations and come up even towards solutions with what's going on. If what I perceive is not really reality. So you can see how that gets kind of screwed up. So I think, it's really important, again, that with these words, as we begin to use them and help children to be able to understand what's happening inside them. And the core of it is, what is it that you need? And the anger might be out there signaling to everybody something's going on, but what is it that you need? What are the emotions telling you? And that's where the emotional intelligence comes in, being able to look at that and then problem solve. This is what I need. So that's really crucial. So in terms of curriculums, in terms of circle groups, things like that, there are little exercises that you can do. When I worked with youth, one of the things that we would use are little cards with emotions on them. And after they practice with those, then I would bring out cards with needs, and these are taken off Maslow's hierarchy of needs list. And I would say, okay, for each emotion that you're sharing right now, what is it that you need in your life to bring that in, to take care of that emotion? So the youth really enjoyed doing that. They liked that, begin to get good at that. And so, again, I believe the ultimate thing that it builds is efficacy, a sense of confidence, a sense of their own ability, and trust with others, strong relationships with others. And to me, these are the foundations of a strong learning, growing mind of a learner.